We are back with another episode of Book Talk, author interview. Today, we are getting into a children's book. There she is. Let me invite my guest. Why does it do that? There it is. What's up? Come on
Hey,
in.
how you doing?
Hey, there we go.
I'm good.
How,
I'm good.
how
How
are you? Doing good. What's up, neighbor?
I know, right?
Aren't you in
You got to
Florida
come see
too?
me. Girl, you got some sandwich. Come see me.
I'm. Hey, I see you
Yes,
have a. Are
I am.
you a part of
Yes, I
SCORE?
am. Yep.
I see y'all have an event coming
Women,
up.
for Women's History Month, we got actually the title.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, I came up with. Yeah, turn your
No
passion
way.
into profit, which is something I've always been like a big believer in, is turning your passion into everything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing can be done without passion. If you don't have passion in it, what's the point of doing it? So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Come on. What? See, you know what? I'm gonna have to see where it's happening now. I might pop up on you.
It's in Lakeland.
It's not that far.
That's where we at. So
Yeah.
it's a new
Okay.
company. The Well, they are
Okay.
in the inner city. They like to support African American businesses and stuff like that. They're a big supporter of women in business, stuff like that. So we love the fact that we're able to partner with them for this symposium, which is coincidentally March 24th. And it's an all-day event, actually. Yeah, so it's 8 to 12 in the morning for just the networking portion of it, to get the information about turning your passion into profit. And then at the end of the day, for late people, late owls, we have a B2B mix. So we'll be, you can network with other businesses, and I'll be a vendor there in the afternoon. So we'll have a lot of vendors, and we're mostly, celebrating women. So we have women businesses, women building businesses around what their passions are. They're going to have workshops talking about, how to, turn that, making a bracelet into a profitable business. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay, see, look at that. Check it out. So for those that don't know, this is my friend. I know this author it's been a couple of years.
Yes.
We have my Instagram bestie. We have yet to meet, but I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today, this evening. If you don't mind introducing yourself to just those who are watching, and let's go ahead and get into your latest book. Tell us about it.
LaFrieda Smith. You can call me LJ. I'm a speaker, author, mentor, and autism advocate. I mostly am a full-time college student. Right now I'm studying business marketing and communications. So I'm supposed to graduate in August, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, I'm almost done. When you get to that finish line, it's like, oh, come on. Yeah. So I get my bachelor's in that. And one of the things that I want to do once I do graduate, and I'm already doing it, here in Lakeland, is be more active in the community, doing, supporting local businesses, put myself out there, speaking more, and doing things locally. Once I establish my rapport with the local community, then I can go out and explore the world, basically, which is what my goal is. So I wrote my first children's book which is something that I've always wanted to do.
Congrats.
I told you I was going to do it. I told you I was going to do it.
I know. So I was like, okay, come through. Yes.
I know, right?
Yes, for the follow through.
So
it could be
when
hard
I say I'm going to do something, I'm gonna do it. So I wrote my first children's book, and it was kind of hard to find a way to format it to see what would work for me and what I was trying to portray in my message. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna, my inspiration is my son, my youngest son on the autism spectrum, and anyone that is in a community where that they're at a disadvantage, and people not being aware of, and being accepting of different ways to portray their influence in the community. They're not aware of the things that we're able to do. Most people don't know that I have dyslexia. And I was born with a speech impediment. So for me, speaking is something that was a obstacle for me. But the more and more I do it, the more I see that, it's okay, if you stumble on a couple words or, stuff like that. But building your education and, communicating is very important, because the message that you portray to other people it's all about you and not, what you're selling them or what. So in every aspect, we're all salesmen in some aspects. So I have to be able to portray who I am to everyone, and people are, following me. So in writing my first children's book, I wanted to make sure that I included everyone that was involved in the inspiration, not just one portion of it. So my son and I, we're very, very vocal and very active in our community with the autism spectrum and autistic community. So we attend parties and social events, kind of like the one thing that we do go to is Night to Shine. Tim Tebow has a lot to do with that starting. It's a worldwide, it's kind of like a prom for children with different abilities. So we all get together one night and we dance the night away and sing, and we get together and we just we take a break from the everyday, basically, and we have a good time. And some of his friends, which are part of this community, are in this book. So it's called Top of the Muffin To. And that's to emphasize the explanation point when you say it, because what that does is it grabs the reader's attention for the title. And you're like, what's that about? So on the back, I just want to show you guys. So on the back, for those that haven't seen it, all of these people are instrumental in inspiring me to write this book, including my son. So my son is on the front. That's Baker. And then here is all his friends. There's Bobby, Tony, Chris, me, of course, Allie, and a wonderful woman. She's an educator. I wanted to involve her in it because two of her children are actual characters in the book. And I love that she is so dedicated to being a mother and parenting her two children. And, they're both on the autism spectrum. So she's been a long time friend of mine. So I wanted to include them in this book. And one of the things that me and my husband that created it together, and we're already working on the second one. We just started working on the second one yesterday. We got ideas. Our ideas are centered around, I'm not sure if you are familiar with Seinfeld, the Seinfeld show. Well, one of the episodes, some of the episodes, me and my family love that show. So it's like some of the actual episodes, we were able to like take some of the titles, some of the inferences that were in there, and of course they're age appropriate, and like Talking them up into you is one of the episodes that kind of caught my eye for the first book, and I was like, I loved how they said that. You know, the Elaine character said that, and I was like, you know what? That's going to be the first title of the first book. And yeah, and then you use a different concept in the book, and most of these books are going to be about cooking, food, because that's my son's passion is cooking and food. So
yeah. That's beautiful. I love the inspiration for your book. Tell me again, does your son have a baking YouTube channel? So, did I see something like that? Tell me about that. How's that
it was
going?
just going to be me and parenting. But you know what? I was like, you know what? If I'm a parent, okay, I'm going to include my children in the whole thing. The ones that want to be involved. Hey. So, you know how that is. So my son, who, you know, he was a little hesitant at first because he's never done the in front of camera thing before. So what I did was I had him do it first and then see how he liked it. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to include myself in this because I am the parent, I am the mom, and I love food. I'm a foodie. And I love to eat. Okay. So I said, let me include myself in this. And then I got to the point where I was like, you know what? We're going to make recipes and you're going to do them. And he loves doing it every week. He's like, when are we making the recipes? When are we making the recipes? And I'm okay, I have to check my schedule. I got to check my schedule because it is hard to do YouTube channel. Okay. Between, you know, the edits and it's a stop, the go, you know, everything's got to be right. The music, everything, it's a lot of work. So we have a YouTube channel called The P Word, and it's at the P Word 22, and it's based on me and my son Devin. It's called Cooking with LJ and Baker and LJ. Always goes backwards. So nice. We always introduce ourselves in the beginning, and then we always cook from a cookbook that I bought for him. He loves cooking celebrity actual dishes just to see how they come out. And I'm telling you, he is a master of this craft because I'm telling you, these dishes, they come out so good. And you can tell by my face when I be you're reminiscing one right now. I'm like, y'all need to smell this and taste this because, and I be chomping and stuff, and I be like, y'all just don't know. But we love, oh my goodness, you know, cooking and eating, and you know the art and the craft of making food like that is just for him. That's his passion. Everything that he does, everything he puts on a plate is art. So I see him doing some great things with that, and he loves the YouTube videos. So I just keep doing them, and you know everybody has said that they were great videos, so I just keep doing them. As long as I get a good meal out of it, I'm good.
He said, I'm great. It's good. I know. It's good. It's a win. It's a win-win. I love that. So how long have you been an author? I know when I first met you, I think you came out with that book that's right behind you about, what is it? Is it called Beautiful Flowers? I don't remember the name.
Beautiful Flowers was the second one. The first one was buying and selling.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so that's true. That's true. And so you have those three books out now. That was
my feet getting wet, buying and selling, getting wet. And then Beautiful Flowers, I thought I had my stuff figured out, and then I put that out, and then but it takes like 3-4 books to figure it out. I know.
It takes a couple.
I think it was 2021. Yeah. 2021 was when I first became an author, and it was yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Fairly new.
Yeah.
And it was difficult because I couldn't get my bearings about me, about, self-publishing is one thing that, you don't have everything figured out when you think you're going to write a book and people are going to buy it, but it's very, very hard to, you got to stay on top of it. And for me, this time, I've decided to kind of go, the not non-social media route, because I do post and stuff like that, but kind of talk to people face to face, because I kind of miss that back and forth with people. It gives you a more of a personal connection with people, and everybody is so busy these days. It's like, you can't. It's like, did you see my post? Well, sometimes they don't, and it's like, but me, I'll go months without seeing somebody's post, and it's not something I do on purpose. It's just, other things come into play. So what you have to do is you got to get out there and make physical connections face to face. And coincidentally, I'm taking a class in business and professional communication right now that I just started this week. So, and they talk about establishing a face to face with in business and stuff like that, and how your message can be portrayed differently when you put it on social media versus in person. Meeting people in person is totally different than that. But I did that, and I'm glad to say there's a lot of connections that I've made since I've moved away from social media as much. Not that social media is bad. It worked for some people, but for me, I love, talking to people and communicating with them face to face, and actually doing events in person. I got invited to my first speaking engagement. Just by collaborating with a local bookstore. I'm going to be talking to some college students about creative writing, and just going to talk to them about the difference between writing styles. Since I've wrote 2 different types of writing styles, I can talk to them about the different ways to use your creative writing to make it into a business, or write a book or whatever have you. And I love the opportunity to sit in front of people that have not done something before and be able to teach them something in person. And sometimes you don't know whether your message is getting across when you're on social media. So having that personal connection, that is very important to me.
No, you mentioned a huge one, because I think a lot of people feel like, oh, I gotta be on social media, but no, there's other options. And I think that as an independent author, we absolutely have to explore our options, really be honest about our strengths and our weaknesses, because if this ain't your strength or whatever, look, it might be okay to put your energy elsewhere. Like you said earlier, get active in your community. Do your neighbors know that you even wrote a book, published a book? And I'm not just talking about like your next door neighbors, but like the people in your community. You're a whole author. I think sometimes we take it kind of lightly, because self-publishing, it's difficult, but anybody can publish a book. Anybody can publish a book. If you have a will, there's a way anybody can do it. But like you said, it's the marketing part. It's the reaching your readers. It's really building a community. And it takes you putting out books. Like you said, you're on your 3rd book. And excuse me. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. And some of my favorite authors, I had a chance to take a master class by Walter Mosley. That man has written 35, written and published. He might have written more, but he's published 35 books. And he said, over time you just get better at it. But like, at what book number did he just feel like, okay, I'm good. I'm good to go. This is my style. I'm like, dang, okay. I think I put out like 8 books, but most of I'm still like, okay, I could probably do better. But I think that, like, my point that I want to get to is that explore your options and know that it takes time. It's okay. I think sometimes our expectations are we get so excited, we got a story to write, we put it out there, and then it's like,
that's it.
That's silent. Like, you don't know what? Like, what do I do now? And so that's good. I'm glad that you mentioned getting active in your community. There's always something going on. Do you have any advice for, like, how did you make the, you know, your different contacts and stuff? Where did you go?
One of the things that I do a lot of one thing I focus on is business connections. LinkedIn is a good platform for that. Alignable is a good one for that, because you get to find out about who your local businesses are and what they're looking for, what their customers are, what their customer base is, and who they want to work with and collaborate with. If you're in the field of being an author, you want to look at, like, local bookstores. You want to establish a relationship with the owners of these bookstores, which I have already with my previous books. So it was easy enough to talk to them about the books that I have coming up, because they're always looking for books. Coming up here in April, I'm going to be doing the Lakeland book crawl, where the local bookstores for the end of April, they're going to have people, you know, visiting their bookstores. There's like I think it's 5 different bookstores, and people are going to be able to purchase different books. And they'll also be able to see, like, authors like me there, presenting their books and selling them. Look for opportunities like that. If you see opportunity to go and be an author, have a table and introduce yourself to the community, because there's a lot of people that may not know who you are in the community. If you can, here in Lakeland, we have the first Friday, doing a vendor tent. That's a good way to get to know your community. You know, it costs money, but, you know, you have to invest in order to make money. So for me, I'm going to be doing that. You know, if it's only part-time, 4 months out of the year, the first Fridays, have a booth, interact with the community, talk with them. The more they see your face, the more they'll be like, oh, I remember you. You know, I have this such and such thing. Or they'll be networking somewhere else, and they'll say, you know, I have this lady that I know that's such and such a thing. And you never know when you'll make that connection with that person. Because that's a lot like what we're doing here at SCORE. When we have these women's symposiums, a lot of these women we know from, well, not me personally, but they know from different networking events or different events that they went to, and they were speaking and stuff like that. So kind of get out there and find out where your bookstores are. You can also speak at schools, elementary schools. It depends on if you have a children's book or whatever. Me, I'm looking for elementary schools where I'm already a volunteer for Polk County. So I'm able to volunteer to be on field trips with the little kids, which I love little kids. They're like, you know, it brings me, like, I can't wait to be a grandma. But yeah, it's one of those things. But anyway, the little kids, they light up when they hear a funny story or a good story, and, you know, storytelling. So getting out there in the community, you miss a lot of that on social media if you're concentrating on what they call recycling the same message over and over to the same audience that have heard it at least 35,000 times. You know what I'm saying? You're missing the connection, basically. And that's what I've learned over the last 2 years.
No, that's good. That is that's awesome. That's great advice. So if you are just tuning in, we are talking about book publishing and just her journey so far and how it's been. What else? What's next? I know you said this is something that you're gonna keep doing, but anytime soon, when are you gonna put out your next book?
So we
Can you tell us?
Targeting a book a year. We're giving ourselves a year for each book. This one took 2 years. I think it was a little slow on it because we took a break. And I think we started in 2021, the end of 2021, and we thought we were going to do it for 2022, but something happened and then we didn't do it. So, but the first children's book is always the most important one. It sets the tone for the rest of the books that you write. Take your time with your illustrations, how you write it. It's very important because you can't go back. So just make sure that whatever you put out there is the message that you want to portray. Because there's a lot of negativity out there. People will put some bad reviews out there for you if you're not paying attention to certain things. It's okay to make a mistake. As long as you learn from that mistake and you fix it for the next time. For me was putting out my books too quickly. That was the mistake I made. Not taking my time. You get into that thing where people expect you to have something out quickly, and it's the anticipation. You can't do that. Can't do it. So I learned, one book a year because that's all the energy I got.
Come on, I know. Keep it real. People need to hear it though, because honestly, wait, I'm gonna interject. Let me interject. I have a story because we get it, right? Because the first book I put out had so many typos, and talking about reviews, almost every review was like, this was a good idea, but there were so many typos. I was like, dang it. Wait, I unpublished it and I never talked about it until we were talking about major fails. It was a major fail. But like you said, wanted to hurry up and put it out there. I was so excited. But let's talk about why sometimes we feel like we have to rush. Where does that even come from? Why do we have to move so fast on an idea that we get? Like, what's up with that?
It's like, if you have an idea for something, and it's just like when you make a major decision on a big purchase. Okay, when you buy a house, you don't buy a house in a day. So why write a book in a day? That makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. Even though you have the idea, you have the structure, the illustration, why do it in one day when you can take your time? There's nobody telling you gotta write this right now. It's not like when you're not self-publishing and you're going a traditional method, when they tell you you got 6 months to write this book. You don't have a deadline. Self-publishing is not a deadline. It's just that when you tell somebody a deadline, okay, things will come up, but they expect you to have that done. But you don't have to rush your project. If it's something that is important to you, do not rush it. It's just, do not rush it. I strongly suggest you take your time, especially if it's your first one. By the third or fourth, you know what you're doing. You're whatever. But when it's your first children's book, take your time picking your illustrator, your publisher, whoever you're going to do, because it is very important that you don't make mistakes in it. And people are, like you said, are going to tell you, oh, okay, you don't know how to spell. It's like, I'm like,
Exposed, girl, exposed. I was like, how can I unpublish this? It's not supposed to put back. No.
Oh man,
terrible.
But I actually I wanted to share something with you. Last week, I think, or a week before, I actually am moving forward with a business idea that I had 3 years ago. And I, as a Kaiser University student, I was able to enter a contest for entrepreneurship pitch in front of some Shark Tank investors, basically. They call them Shark Tank investors. And
Oh,
I
wow.
actually got picked as one of the finalists. One of the, yes.
What?
So on the 23rd, which is the day before the SCORE event, the 23rd, I will be pitching my idea in front of, which is a dream of mine, in front of a panel of business professionals, investors. So whoever wins gets to pitch their idea in the incubator and, sell it and actually, go forward with it. So I'm excited to be in West Palm Beach.
Wow.
Doing it at the campus, and I'm like beyond a little bit nervous. But people say, yeah, I know. People say,
how do you feel?
Yeah, you good. You good. You got it.
Okay, you're gonna do great. You're gonna be coming back. Yeah, guess what happened? I hope so.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
It's March 23rd. I'll find out that day what's going on. But I'm doing a fly there, fly back home that day because I got the event the next day. Yeah. So I'm keeping my calendar full.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
That's good. That is good. It's good to be back outside. You got your business going. You got your books going. You seem to be doing fantastic. It's a good season right now. I think for a lot of people, it's been hard. It really has been hard for a lot of us. And so I think that I know for me anyways, and after talking to you, I think I feel like I'm doing a lot better than before anyways. Just all around, all across the board. I think it's, coming out of the pandemic and stuff like that, like you said, getting outside. I think more authors really need to take that into consideration, getting active in their communities. My thing is if you can write and publish a book, which takes a lot of courage, man, you have some serious strengths that other people that don't even have, and we have to lean into that and really see what happens. Just step out there and give yourself a chance. And I think that's how you learn is just kind of by doing it and, practice makes progress. And so you got to get started for sure. Yeah. Well, hey, this was a great conversation. Anything else? Where can we find you?
My book is available for pre-order. Barnes & Noble and Thrift Books. It's available now on Amazon if you want to get it. And you can also purchase it through my website, www.LaFriedaSmith.com. Check out my bio, different videos of me and my son, different things that I got going on, that I've had going on, you probably missed. As a result of the social media, what is it called? The algorithm. Yeah.
Algorithm, yeah.
So you get to see all that. So www.LaFriedaSmith.com. Available for speaking engagements. I haven't had a paid one yet, but I'm hopeful this year. You got to start out free first, before they, see what. But I'm available for TED Talks. I'll do a TED Talk in a bit. But anyway, I appreciate you having this platform. It allows for authors to get on here and talk about the things that they have going on with their books and the struggles, and keeping it real. Keep it, be transparent about what the struggles are, because there is a struggle with self-publishing and getting your books out there. And we don't all make $1 million. It's hard. And the key to that is your network support and making sure that you're out there in your community and making connections, basically.
That's right. Because let me tell you what, I've been trying to tell my friends. They're like, okay, how many books do I have to sell to replace my day job? I said, look, if you make $50K at your day job a year, you're going to want to sell about 18,000, 19,000 books. And they just give up right there. I said, I'm just being honest. I've done the math. That's about how many books products you have to sell. So you might as well get active in your community and at least let people start getting to know who you are. Because if you're just anonymous person behind the screen and we see you in your pictures, but like you said, unless you're like, this helps. I feel like video kind of helps a little bit, but even then, it's like, you know, you want to get that face-to-face direct contact is so important as an author. And you could be local and nobody's stopping you from going across the United States and opening up, doing your own thing or whatever, setting up your own author tour, whatever. There's so much that you can do. Back to what I was saying earlier about like your strengths. We're creative people. I think we have to really take inventory of our strengths and like expand on them. What else can you possibly do? If the social media thing isn't working for you, I'm sure there's 100 other things. There's other things that you can try that don't cost a whole lot of money, might cost something, but you know, like you said earlier, we got to invest in ourselves and get out there and just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. And so, anyways, we can end there. I'll be on again tomorrow. I have another guest tomorrow, and then I'm on spring break. My daughter is on spring break next week, so I am done with projects for at least the next week. I'm putting my feet up, and I am enjoying my time with her, doing as minimal as possible, and so I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, do you have anything else you want to say before I jump
right here? I've known this lady for almost 3 years. She is a person that, you know, will go, but when it's time to take a break, she takes a break. Okay. She be breaking. We can't find her. We don't know where she at, you know, but anyway. But yeah, she is a very educated, beautiful soul. She does some incredible work. You know, I can't tell you how much she supports other authors and does what she has to do. Self-care is important, but also support from other people is important too. So yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh. You're gonna catch me slipping. Stop. I appreciate the love so much. I do, because this, like, you already know the deal. And so I do appreciate that. And so, all right, you guys, I'll be on, like I said, tomorrow around the same time, I believe, 7:30 tomorrow. And so until then, have a good night. I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.